Hey everybody, it's Eric Strock with Stone Valley Hobby and Games. It's Stone Valley Games night again, and believe it or not, we're still on Marvel Champions. So Marvel Champions, as you know, is a lot of game in the box. We've worked our way from Spider-Man to Captain Marvel to Iron Man and She-Hulk, and we have one hero left and we have one villain left. So tonight it's going to be our friend, the best for last, of course, Black Panther, against the toughest original enemy out of the box is Ultron. So it's going to be Black Panther versus Ultron. Bow, bow. Let's see what we got going on with that. And I can tell you, Ultron is really good at throwing out his little minion folks. So we went to Board Game Geek, where you can get a lot of the neat stuff, and somebody made really neat little tokens that look like this. So I could have done the whole bit and laminated them all and made them all super fancy, but I figured just print and put them in the sleeves is good, and you'll see these rolling out in the game itself. But Board Game Geek is a great place to go and help yourself out with games. And one of the things we like it for a lot is solo rules. A lot of multiplayer games, they have really good solo rules in there to make it a solo player game that aren't, necessarily made that way. But tonight it's Marvel Champions. It's going to be Black Panther versus Ultron, and I'm going to run both of those standard. Let's see what we're working with here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Ultron deck, standard Ultron deck. So we have Black Panther's Obligation, the Ultron cards, the Under Attack set, and then the standard set. So we're going to take these and we're going to go ahead and shuffle them up. So I like to do the pile shuffle. It randomizes things pretty good, especially if you've had them in some kind of an order, like when you take them out of their slots in the box. You can slip them together, shuffle them up real quick like so, and that way you're not side shuffling so long. But we will get this together here. So it's the standard Ultron, so it's Ultron 1 and 2. And you can see I have the life counters. I got 17 set for Ultron and 11 set for Black Panther, T'Challa. And we will get this going here. So we start with 1A. Claw's mysterious red-hooded employer is really the genocidal android Ultron. Ultron 1, Ultron 2. And of course we use standard, and Under Attack was the modular encounter set. Then we put the Ultron drones into play. So once we put that into play, it says each face-down drone minion engaged with player has a base scheme of 1, a base attack of 1, and a base hit points of 1. After a face-down drone minion is defeated, place that card in its owner's discard pile. Alright, then we flip it to 1B. The Crimson Cowl, main scheme. Ultron is using the components Claw delivered in order to build an army of Ultron drones. When revealed, each player puts the top card of their deck into play face down, engaged with them as a drone minion. So this starts with 0 on it, and that means I need a deck. So I have the Black Panther cards, and I have protection cards, and I have the standard cards. So in the rules for how to make the decks, it talks about you can kind of mix them up as you go. You can change out the aspect. You can have a certain number of cards. The rules state that if it's a card with only one title, you can only have one of those in your deck. And if it's a card of multiples, you can have up to a multiple of 3. And you can't have any more than 50 cards in your deck minus your character card. So what I've done is I've added a few more of the protection cards in this, just to try to see if that helps out of the gate. Since I'm not playing two-handed,
against Ultron with just one deck, I'm going to need every advantage I can get, because even though Ultron is just a single opponent, he fights with all the, not just minions that he gets, which are all pretty tough, but he fights also with all the drones that he produces. So it's very difficult to get Ultron and the drones all out at the same time. I'm going to try it with protection. I've noticed that leadership works well because it allows you as a solo player to get your minions out there, which is really your helpers. So if you're playing one-handed, which I'm going to keep doing, then you need to have as many allies as you can to help even it out. So we'll see how it goes here. We're running Black Panther with protection, a couple extra cards, and this deck has 49 cards in it. Now the problem with the Black Panther is he gets some pretty cool cards out, but then he needs special other cards to be able to play it. So against Ultron, a lot of times I'm not around long enough to be able to use them all. So we'll see. Let's see if we can't get a little luck here. And now I have to discard face down, and this is now a drone. So I have a threat to begin the game. And it is my turn. I will draw to 6. All right. I have the power of protection here, counter punch, emergency. I'm going to keep that one. So I am going to use the power of protection for 2. And I'm going to use counter punch for 3, and that will be med team. It's got 3 counters on it. And what that'll do is it'll help me later on. Okay, then we have so some of these I want to wait. And then T'Challa's power is search your deck for a Black Panther upgrade and add it to your hand. So I'll do that now. And I think it's going to be one of those 2. Let's see here. We got yep. Because they don't really do anything until they don't really do anything until you can get your other power card. So anything that revolves around more than one card is always problematic. So we'll go with the energy daggers. And then I will pay, no, I'll hold it. So I will switch to Black Panther, and I will attack Ultron for 2 to take him to 15. And that's my turn. I will ready the card and draw to 5, which is 1 more card. And I'll pass the turn to Ultron. So I'll put a threat on the scheme, and Ultron attacks. So once he attacks, well, he'll attack first, so he attacks for 2, and I'm not going to defend. And then he adds 2 to it, so he attacks for 4. Takes me to 7. And then the retaliate does 1 damage back to Ultron, taking him to 14. And then after he attacks, I can either put a threat on the main scheme or put the top card of my deck. So I'm going to put the top card of my deck down as a drone. And then, so then drones go, attack and attack. So he does 1 damage to both of them, but he takes 2, 6, and 5. So these drones are done. And then the encounter card. If I'm in hero, he attacks me. So he attacks for 2. And then the way this works is discard the top card on my deck for each damage dealt by this attack. So this time I am going to defend. And then he's going to add 1 to it. So he does 1 attack or 1 damage. And then after he attacks me, I'm going to also choose to get the drone out. So that puts 2 drones back in play. And I take a damage to 4. And the turn goes back to me. I am going to switch to T'Challa. And search for a upgrade. And then shuffle. And you can tell when I shuffle the cards, I don't bend the cards very much because this game should last a long time and I don't want to mess them up. So I'll draw this one. And then I will pay one, the one I just drew, which isn't very good, to play the armored vest. Then I will there's really nothing else I can do, so I will actually I'm going to tap this. Sorry, I'm going to exhaust that to get to 6 life. Takes to 6. Then we have, I'm going to ready these cards, and I'm going to draw to 6, which is drawing 2. Okay, then I pass. So the first thing we do is we put a threat on the scheme, and then Ultron is going to scheme 1, and he's going to add 1 to it, and I'm going to play my emergency card to get rid of one of those scheme. So he adds 1 scheme, which takes it to 3. So 3, we go to 2A. As you pursue Ultron, you receive a distress call from the North American Aerospace Defense Command in Colorado. They are besieged by an army of Ultron drones. When revealed, each player puts the top card of their deck into play face down and engage with them as a drone. Another drone. And advance to B. If Ultron gains control of NORAD, he will have access to the United States Ballistic Missile Command. After placing threat here during a step 1 of the villain phase, each player must choose to either place 2 threat here or put the top card of their deck into play face down and engage with them as a drone minion. So the drones are growing. And then these 3 drones all scheme, 1 each for 3. And then that goes to the encounter card. When Alter Ego, this card gains surge, which means you draw a card. We have a side scheme of under attack. So the exclamation point on this card means that I can't do anything to the main scheme until this card has been handled. Each player chooses to either place 2 threat here or deal 3 damage to their hero. So first I add the 3. And then I will take 2 damage down to 4. And then the turn passes to me. I will exhaust the med team to add 2 life. Back to 6. I will then use energy to pay for the Golden City. I will exhaust the Golden City to draw 2 cards. I will save that. I will use my strength to pay 2 to put on the weapon. I will then exhaust T'Challa to gain 4 life, to take me back to 10. Now we'll switch to Black Panther mode. And I will bring all my cards back to action. And I will put a threat on the main scheme as we switch back to the bad guy's turn. And Ultron going to attack for 2, and I have no choice but to defend, so I will defend, and I have defend for 3, attack for 2, and it gets to add 3 to it, so that's a 5, so I take 2 damage, takes me to 8. And then I'm going to pay 0 for counter punch, and it's going to do 2 attack back to Ultron to take him to 12. And each one of the drones are going to attack me for 1. Oh, I got to remember, I have to make another drone from this card. So I'm going to get attacked for 4 to take me to 4. But they're all going to take 1 damage from his retaliate power. And so these cards go into the discard pile. And then we get the encounter card. Attached to the Ultron drone's environment, each face-down drone minion gets +1 attack and +1 hit point. So I have to spend energy, mind, and fight to get rid of it. And the turn passes back to me. So I'm going to draw it to my hand size. I'm going to exhaust the med team and remove the last counter from it to heal 2, to go to 6. And I'm going to spend these requisite points which is horrible, but that I will not last long at all if I don't. I will then switch to T'Challa, and I will draw 2 cards. I will pay 2 for Vibranium to bring in the Tactical Genius skill. Then I will ready my cards and draw to 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I will pass. So once again, once you put your scheme on here, you either add 2 or put the top card down as a drone. the drone it is. Ultron is going to scheme one, and he's going to add choose to either spend a mind resource or put the top card of your deck into play face down, engage with you as a drone. And wow, I will spend it. And then once that went on, I'm going to choose to get a drone. Then I'm going to find out what's going to happen next. Alter Ego, again Surge. We got upgraded drones again. So now the drones all have +2, they have 2 attack and 2 hit points. It switches back to my turn. I'm going to pay one to play Wakanda Forever. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do 1 threat remove from a scheme. And then I'm going to deal 2 damage to everything attached to me, which kills these drones. And then 2 damage to Ultron as well, taking him to 10. I'm going to draw 2 cards. I'm going to pay 2 Power of Protection and 1 for this to pay for 3 to bring in the Black Widow. I'm going to use her to thwart 2 schemes, 2 threats off the main scheme. And we have a couple actions left here. I'm going to exhaust T'Challa and gain 4 back to 10. And I will draw to my hand size of, oh, I couldn't take those off. I had to take them off of here. So those 2 go there. I took them off of this one because, yeah. Oh well, forget about that side scheme. Don't forget about anything. And I will ready my cards and draw to 6. Checking them out real quick. All right. So I'm in alter ego form. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put threat on the scheme, and I will get the drone card, and he will add 3 to that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it gets 9. So one more and I'm already at the end. And the encounter is each player puts the top card of their deck into play face down and engage them as a drone. Alright. So the turn comes back to me, and I'm going to draw 2 cards. I'm going to pay 1, 2, and 3. For the Avengers Mansion to draw another card. Switch to the Black Panther mode. Black Widow is going to sacrifice herself to finish off this side. I'm going to pay one, for Indomitable. I'm going to thwart 2 off of the main scheme. And I'm going to ready my cards and pass the turn back to Ultron. Draw to 5, 3, 4, 5. We put a threat, and I will get another drone. Ultron attacks for 2, and when he does, I will get another drone. I will choose to defend for 3, and he adds, I can choose to spend a fight resource with the top card in my play as a drone. I don't even have one, so that means I get another drone. So we have I'm going to discard this to ready him. So he was attacked for 2, bonus that. Then I take 4. Actually, that would kill me if they all attacked for 2 because of the advanced card. So that's it. Didn't make it. On their turn, there's nothing I can do. I didn't even really scratch him. The king is dead. No bueno. Oh well. We will definitely try to get him next time. Thanks for hanging out and watching me get my butt kicked by Ultron. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.